Right now, you're feeling it. Every trip to the grocery store costs more than it did last month. Your rent or mortgage keeps creeping up. Gas prices hit your budget like a punch to the gut. Your utilities, your insurance, your medical bills, your credit card payments, everything feels heavier, tighter, more stressful. And when you sit down at night and look at your bank balance, you're probably asking the same question millions of Americans are asking. How much longer can we keep doing this? How much more can our wallets take before something finally gives? This isn't just numbers on a screen. This is your family's stability, your peace of mind, your ability to breathe without constant financial fear hanging over your head. And today, we're talking about something that could bring real relief, the possible $2,000 stimulus check that has everyone buzzing, debating, hoping, and watching closely. This isn't hype for the sake of clicks. This is about what it could mean for you, your household, your bills, and your future. Imagine what an extra $2,000 could do for your life right now. Catch up on overdue rent, pay off a crushing credit card balance, fix your car so you can keep working, buy groceries without counting every single dollar, put something, anything, into savings so you can sleep better at night. For some families, this kind of money isn't extra. It's survival, it's stability, it's dignity. And that's why this update matters so much. That's why you need clear, simple, honest information, not confusing headlines, not political noise, not fear-driven rumors. In this video, you're going to learn exactly what's being discussed, who could qualify, how payments might work, when money could realistically arrive, and what you should be doing right now to stay ready. We're breaking it down in plain language so you don't need a finance degree or a law book to understand what's happening. We'll also uncover the biggest mistakes people make when stimulus news breaks, mistakes that could delay or even cost you money. And stay with me until the end, because there's one critical detail most people are missing that could affect your eligibility and timing. This could directly impact your wallet, and the decisions you make in the next few weeks could matter more than you realize. Why stimulus talk is back and why it's not random. Stimulus conversations don't just pop up out of nowhere. They usually return when pressure builds across the economy and lawmakers start hearing the same message from families, workers, retirees, and small business owners. People are stretched too thin. Inflation may slow on paper, but in real life, your groceries still cost more. Your rent hasn't magically dropped. Your insurance didn't suddenly become cheaper. And wages for many families simply haven't kept pace with everyday expenses. That gap between what you earn and what you spend is exactly why stimulus discussions are resurfacing again. It's not about politics for most Americans. It's about survival and stability. When consumer spending slows down because people are scared to spend money, businesses feel it. When businesses slow down, hiring slows down. When hiring slows down, families feel even more pressure. It becomes a cycle that drags the entire economy down. Stimulus payments are designed to inject money directly into households so people can spend, pay bills, and keep the economy moving. But for you personally, it's much simpler than that. It's about keeping the lights on, keeping food on the table, keeping your car running, and keeping your mental stress from overwhelming your daily life. Another reason stimulus talk is heating up again is because many assistance programs are tightening rules, reducing benefits, or adding stricter verification. Some families are losing help they relied on for years. Others are seeing healthcare costs rise or tax refunds shrink. All of this creates pressure that eventually forces leaders to consider emergency relief options. The idea of a $2,000 check grabs attention because it's big enough to actually make a difference, not just a symbolic payment that disappears in one grocery trip. But here's the important part. Just because stimulus is being discussed doesn't mean checks are automatically approved or guaranteed. There's a process, there are negotiations, there are funding debates, there are eligibility rules. That's why misinformation spreads so fast. People want relief so badly that they cling to any headline that sounds promising. Your job is to stay informed, stay calm, and stay ready without falling for hype or scams. By the end of this video, you'll understand exactly how to separate real updates from noise so you can protect your money and your peace of mind. What the $2,000 stimulus proposal actually means. When people hear $2,000 stimulus check, many immediately assume a guaranteed deposit is coming. That's not how this works. A stimulus proposal is essentially a plan being discussed, reviewed, debated, and shaped before anything becomes official. It outlines how much money could be distributed, who could qualify, how payments might be delivered, and how funding would be handled. Think of it as a blueprint, not a finished building. It shows what could happen, not what has already happened. The $2,000 figure matters because it's large enough to meaningfully impact household finances. It could cover a month of rent for some families, wipe out high-interest debt, or create a small emergency buffer that prevents future financial panic. But the final amount, if approved, could change based on negotiations, budget limits, and eligibility expansions or restrictions. That's why you may hear different numbers floating around online. Until legislation is finalized, nothing is locked in. Another key point is distribution method. Stimulus payments are typically sent through direct deposit, paper checks, or prepaid debit cards, depending on what information the government has on file for you. If your banking information is outdated or missing, that can slow down delivery significantly. Many people during past stimulus rounds experienced delays simply because their address changed or their bank account was closed. That's why preparation matters more than most people realize. It's also important to understand that stimulus payments are usually tied to income thresholds, tax filing status, and residency or citizenship requirements. Some households qualify automatically, while others may need to claim the payment during tax season if they didn't receive it initially. This creates confusion, especially for gig workers, retirees, mixed income households, or people who recently changed jobs. Clarity is power when money is involved. And here's the suspenseful part. Even once a stimulus plan is approved, the timeline for payments can vary widely. Some people may receive funds within days, while others wait weeks or even months depending on processing speed and verification requirements. Knowing what affects your personal timeline could help you plan your bills, negotiate payments, or avoid late fees and penalties. Which you could qualify and why. Eligibility matters. Eligibility is where things get real for you and your wallet. Not everyone automatically qualifies for stimulus payments, and small details can make a big difference in whether money lands in your account or not. Income limits usually play a major role. These limits are designed to prioritize households that need relief the most, but they can sometimes exclude families who still feel financially stretched despite earning slightly above the cutoff. Filing status matters too. Single filers, married couples, heads of household, and families with dependents may all fall into different eligibility brackets. If you recently got married, divorced, had a child, or experienced a major income change, your eligibility could look very different than last year. That's why staying up to date with your tax records is critical. Your most recent tax return often determines what information the system uses to calculate your payment. Another factor is benefit overlap. Some stimulus programs interact with Social Security, disability benefits, veterans benefits, or unemployment programs differently. In many cases, receiving these benefits does not disqualify you, but documentation accuracy becomes even more important. A missing form or outdated address could delay your payment significantly. Residency and identification verification also matter. Scammers thrive during stimulus seasons by sending fake texts, emails, and social media posts promising instant money. Never give out your Social Security number, banking information, or verification codes to unknown sources. Real stimulus payments do not require upfront fees or private messages. Protecting your personal information protects your wallet. Here's the suspense. Some proposals include expanded eligibility that could bring in households that were previously excluded from stimulus rounds. That means people who missed out before might finally qualify, but only if they stay informed and act correctly when guidance is released. Missing deadlines or misunderstanding instructions could cost you real money. Staying alert could make the difference between relief and frustration. When the money could actually arrive. Timing is what everyone wants to know. When will the money hit your account? The honest answer is that stimulus timelines depend on several moving parts. First comes approval, then funding allocation, then system updates, then distribution. Even in fast-moving situations, this process can take weeks. If there are delays in legislation or budget approvals, timelines stretch even further. Once distribution begins, direct deposit recipients usually receive money first. Paper checks take longer because of printing and mailing logistics. Debit cards fall somewhere in between. If your banking information is already on file and accurate, you're positioned for faster delivery. If not, you may face delays. Another factor is verification volume. When millions of payments are processed simultaneously, systems can slow down. Errors happen. Some payments bounce back due to closed accounts or incorrect addresses. Those payments must then be reissued, extending wait times. That's why preparation now saves stress later. You should also understand that some people may receive payments automatically, while others may need to claim the money through tax filings or benefit portals if they were missed initially. Knowing which category you fall into helps you avoid unnecessary panic or false expectations. Here's the suspenseful reality. Even if two neighbors qualify for the same stimulus, one might get paid weeks before the other simply due to processing order. That's frustrating, but it's normal in large-scale programs. The key is patience combined with vigilance. Monitor official updates, verify your information, and avoid rumor-driven expectations that can cause unnecessary anxiety. How this money could impact your real life. Let's bring this back to you and your family. What would $2,000 actually change for your household? For many families, it could mean catching up on rent or mortgage payments that have been hanging over their heads like a storm cloud. It could mean paying down high-interest credit card debt that keeps growing every month. It could mean fixing a broken car that's essential for commuting to work or taking kids to school. It could mean restocking groceries without panic. It could mean breathing again. Money stress impacts mental health, relationships, productivity, and physical well-being. Constant financial pressure creates exhaustion that never truly goes away. Relief, even temporary, gives families space to reset, plan, and stabilize. That's why stimulus payments matter beyond just numbers. However, smart use of stimulus money matters too. Creating a simple priority plan helps stretch the benefit further. Essentials first: housing, food, utilities, transportation, medical needs, then debt reduction if possible. Even setting aside a small emergency buffer can reduce future stress. Avoid impulse spending driven by emotional relief. It's tempting to celebrate when money arrives, but discipline protects your long-term stability. Think about what future you will thank present you for doing. Another overlooked impact is credit health. Paying down balances can improve credit scores, reduce interest costs, and open better borrowing options in the future. That's long-term power for your financial life. Common mistakes that cost people money. Every stimulus cycle brings the same mistakes. People fall for scams, they click fake links, they share personal data, they trust viral posts instead of verified information. Others fail to update banking information or addresses. Some forget to file required forms. Some assume they don't qualify and never check. Another mistake is budgeting emotionally instead of strategically. Blowing the money quickly can lead to regret when the next bill hits. Planning protects peace of mind. Some people also panic when their neighbor receives payment first. That panic can lead to bad decisions or scam exposure. Remember, payment order varies. Patience is part of the process. Avoid spreading unverified rumors. Misinformation spreads fear and false hope. Stick to trusted updates and official announcements. How to prepare right now. Preparation puts you ahead of the crowd. Confirm your banking information. Make sure your mailing address is correct. Keep copies of recent tax filings. Watch official updates carefully. Set alerts from trusted news sources. Avoid suspicious messages promising instant payments. Create a simple spending plan for potential funds. Know exactly where the money would go before it arrives. That removes stress and prevents impulsive decisions. Talk with your family about priorities. Align expectations. Use the opportunity to strengthen your financial habits. Stay calm and informed. Panic never improves financial outcomes. The bigger picture and why this moment matters. Stimulus discussions reflect deeper economic pressures affecting millions of households. You're not alone in feeling stretched. The system is adjusting, and relief measures signal recognition of real struggles. Your voice matters too. Staying informed helps you make better financial choices and advocate for your needs. Knowledge protects your wallet. Economic cycles change, but preparation builds resilience. Every step you take towards stability compounds over time. Right now, you're standing at the edge of possibility. Relief may be coming, but preparation, awareness, and smart decisions will determine how much it truly helps your life and your family. This isn't just about a check. It's about regaining control over your financial future. One smart move at a time. Stay informed, stay alert, protect your personal information, plan wisely, and most importantly, don't let fear or misinformation control your decisions. Your wallet deserves clarity, not chaos. Your family deserves stability, not stress. Your future deserves preparation, not panic. If this update helped you understand what's happening and what you can do next, make sure you stay connected for future updates. Information moves fast, and being early matters. Subscribe, follow, and stay tuned, because your financial future is worth protecting, and every update could make a real difference in your life.